Hello everyone, welcome to my video on healing ulcerative colitis naturally. My name is Sunny. I think you might have seen some of my videos. I've done probably 15 videos in the last year and a half, and I've talked about how to heal naturally, trying to fix ulcerative colitis and in the same time Crohn's, a digestive disorder. Today is October 12th or 13th, I believe, and 2025. Uh, Recently did a video on an update on how my ulcerative colitis had gotten worse because as I've improved my ulcerative colitis considerably, one of the tests that's done is called calprotectin. And the calprotectin tells you how much inflammation is in your colon. It's a good way of seeing where your inflammation is. And my numbers had gone from up to 3,000 plus, which it doesn't measure after 3,000 on the lab tests, which was very severe. And I had all kinds of health issues to the point where the doctor was recommending I should remove my colon. And I refused. To working the natural method as a nutritionist and doing probably a year and a half of research on my own, learning about how nutrition works, how the body works, what causes the problem. And I was able to use natural methods to fix my ulcerative colitis. Now, my diet, of course, had been mostly carnivore, with a little bit of what you'd call kind of sort of a mixture of carnivore and keto. I mostly eat meat, a little bit of fruit, and one or two vegetables, not that many. So on a rare occasion, I may have like cooked onions, maybe some cooked carrots. I'll eat cilantro cooked really well. What other vegetables do I have? On a rare occasion, when I go have a carnivore meal, I'll have lettuce wrapped burgers. So I try to stay away from vegetables as much as I can, especially raw, but in general, I try to avoid it because chemicals that exist in plants are designed to kind of protect itself and fight against whatever's trying to eat it. And when you have stomach issues, GI issues, those things can be very disruptive. And I don't want to risk causing problems, increasing my ulcerative colitis. There are doctors who are like Dr. Chevy, who talks about on the YouTube. He has a book out, and I think he's on YouTube. I think he has a book that he has out as well. He talks about how plants are trying to kill you. He talks about it a lot, but because of my ulcerative colitis, I decided to remove anything that could be a possible risk. So I eat very little vegetables now, but I've healed myself through the carnivore diet, and I used what's called the proper human diet, which um, uh, Dr. Ken Berry, I think, coined it. I'm not sure if he actually did, but that's where I heard it first. Dr. Berry is a regular family physician who wrote a couple of books on these things, and he's also got a YouTube channel. He talks about it. He's healed thousands of people from all kinds of chronic diseases. And recently I wrote a book on the subject matter of how to eat healthy, lose weight, especially the proper way of losing weight, as opposed to what the society has been pushing down people's throat to get people to do things that are unrealistic for most people who are maybe obese or struggling to lose weight. And in the process, it will actually help some of your health problems. And I'm about to finish my next book, which is coming out in the next couple of weeks. That's going to talk about how to cure chronic diseases, or what I call chronic health issues. I don't particularly believe in the chronic disease theory or hypotheses, because these are not diseases that genetically are marked, but it has to do with lifestyle, and I think you can fix that. And if it's a lifestyle thing, then it's a health issue you've created, and it's not your fault. It's caused by the system that we've been living in for the last 50 years that's kind of corrupted us and fooled us in thinking that the way we eat is correct. So I have decided to write the book now on how to heal chronic diseases. It's going to be out in the next 2-3 weeks on Kindle. So that would be something to look at if you're looking to heal your condition. But for now, let's talk about the test results I did. So recently, I had done test results about a month and a week ago, and my numbers had gone up from low 39s to 900, which is sort of high. And I knew that because I was having certain things happen when usually my numbers go up. For example, I noticed I was having gum pain, which I don't ever get unless my numbers are. That means there's inflammation there. I noticed that I was getting headaches that I don't get anymore. After I've gone to the proper human diet, I don't get headaches. But I started getting 1 or 2 headaches, which kind of gave me a little worry that my numbers are up. So when I had myself tested, my numbers gone up. So even though I'm not a strict carnivore with some fruits, I am 95% that. So there's 5% where I would maybe cheat with a piece of bread when I really craved it, or a little bit of rice with my food when I really wanted it. But I have tested those on myself and I don't react to them. So this doesn't apply to everybody, but for me it did, because what I would do is I had done where I had eaten bread every week for about 6 weeks, and then when tested, my numbers didn't go up, which means I'm not sensitive to the bread. And I've also tested rice the same way, and rice did not have an effect. In fact, both times my numbers were going down, which means it was not creating problems. But the fact that I need to keep the carbs down, carbohydrates, I usually avoid it because I try not to eat it. But again, once a week, maybe I'll enjoy something that I usually don't eat, which is bread or maybe rice. Or maybe even a dessert that's a pure organic dessert that either is made at home or someone makes it, a company that makes organic desserts. I might have a little bit of it, but that's about it. So what I had done was, when my numbers went up, the only thing I had added to my diet to try to be a little bit healthier is I wanted to test nuts, because nuts have a lot of fat in it. It's got quality fats that would be good for you. So I hoped that I would do okay with nuts, and nuts would not cause a problem. And maybe since I've healed enough, I could tolerate nuts. So I ate a lot of nuts for about a month and a half. I ate a lot of nuts. And I ate pistachios and cashews. And it was on a regular basis. Almost every other day I was having it, sometimes every day. And when I tested myself, my numbers had jumped to 900, just over 900, which is rather high. So when I looked back at my diet and I thought, okay, have I eaten something really bad, or have I gone off the wagon? Like, I know milk really causes problems for me, but I didn't have any milk. So I made sure when I eat, I always have a mental track of what I'm eating, so that I know that if I've eaten something that may be new or might bother me, I can keep track of it. So the only thing that I've added that was extra in my diet was the nuts. So what I did was, as of last month, I took the nuts out of my diet completely. Now I'm back to meat, some fruit, a little bit of vegetables, but not very much. Cook it always, just to make sure it destroys some of the damage, some of the chemicals in there that could be harmful. And on a rare occasion, like I said, I might have a piece of bread or something, or a dessert that's organic. So when I tested myself 3 days ago, and I got my answers yesterday, which was great news. My numbers are down to 500. So what we find that nuts are a problem for me and for ulcerative colitis. Now, it may not apply to everybody, but I assume that most people will not do well if you have ulcerative colitis. So nuts is something I would avoid if you are suffering from Crohn's or ulcerative colitis, because nuts are harder to digest. So that may be a reason why it's a problem for your stomach. So the good news is that my numbers are down. 500 is still not a good number, but that means I'm just in 1 month and a week, I've brought my numbers down by just taking nuts out, which means the body is healing, is going the right direction. So I just have to be a little bit more strict on my diet to make sure I stick to what I'm supposed to eat, which is more of a carnivore diet or a proper human diet, depending on which one you want to call it, or even a keto if you're a ketovore. So that's the news. I wanted to give you guys an update so that people who are following this can keep track of their own diets, as well as kind of as they're looking at what I've done and what's worked and what hasn't. These are things you can consider as part of what has worked and what hasn't, so you know what not to do or what to do to help your condition. As I mentioned before, I'm a strong believer in natural healing. I'm big on that, and especially when it relates to chronic health issues or chronic diseases. And in this case, specifically, ulcerative colitis, because that's what I've suffered through for about 20 years. And I've just gotten a handle on it, learned how. The first 15 years of my life, outside of the beginning, when I first found out, which was severe, I had some control over it, or I didn't know it was bad, but I didn't have major issues. I was able to put muscle mass on. I wasn't losing weight. Didn't have too much issues. But in the last 4 years is when the problem started, because I think my condition had gotten worse and I'd noticed it. And 2 years ago, I ended up in emergency, which was pretty bad. And even though the doctors were trying to give me everything to fix myself, and it was causing all kinds of side effects, I decided to go the direction that I feel was the best way to go as a nutritionist. And I healed myself. And every time I go to the doctor, they're ready to get me on some program, because every time my number goes up, they're really keen on getting me on some program. But when our numbers go down, you don't really hear a peep about, hey, you don't need anything, you're doing a good job, keep doing what you're doing because it's working, because that's not what they care about. What they care about is to get you on some medication. So this is the news for now. This is my recommendation for now, is to avoid nuts if you have ulcerative colitis. It may irritate it. You can also, if not sure if it's going to cause a problem, you can test yourself doing a calprotectin test beforehand and afterhand, and give it about a month and see if your numbers get worse. But if it's bothering me, it's more likely going to bother most people. So that's the good news. I'm going to be doing some kind of a strict eating program for the next 30, 40 days, and then I'm going to test again. And hopefully by then my numbers have gone down even more and get some more good news. Okay, that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. My email is lazaruslost@gmail.com. L is in Larry, A is in Apple, Z is in Zebra, A is in Apple, R is in Robert, U is in Under, S is in Sam, then the word lost, L-O-S-T, all together. So lazaruslost@gmail.com. Feel free to reach out anytime you want. My goal here is to help people as much as possible. This is not a website for profit, or I'm not trying to gain any popularity here. I am strictly doing my videos to help people heal, and I'm trying to help people heal naturally, because I've suffered enough in my life to know what it's like, and I don't want people to suffer from this condition. And I strongly believe that medicine should not be a business. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Otherwise, good luck, and look forward to sharing more videos as I go further. And once I get my book done, my new second book, I will let you know what it is. My first book is called Health and Fitness. Do not believe the sales pitch. That's the one that's released on Kindle, and I made that book to help people try to better themselves, not just from chronic health issues, because that book is specifically focused on losing weight, learning how to eat, how to do it the right way versus what most companies, businesses, people selling stuff, trying to convince people to do things that either are too tough for some people to do based on their health condition, or it's just a gimmick of profit, so they get people to do it and then they don't care because they've already made their sale. So look at that book if you have questions in regard to health and you want to lose some weight and you have struggled, and if you want to learn what the right best way to lose weight is, because it's not what they tell you, it's not beat yourself through exercise into shape, and it's definitely not trying to calorie restrict, because calorie restrict does not work properly, and it's not a type of weight loss because you cannot sustain that for a long period of time. It may work if you want to do a sudden weight loss for a couple of months, but one, you're going to be nutrient deficient, and two, you will literally have to go back to eating normal food, and when you do, you're going to gain all the weight back and the struggles will start all over again. So you can look at that book and you can learn more about it there. If you have questions about what we talked about today, reach me at my email. Other than that, good luck and have a wonderful, wonderful day and happy holidays. Bye-bye.